Welcome back. This is Addict MMA. I'm Derrick Evil, and if you want to hear some shit talk, you've come to the right place today, my friend. Usually, I don't like to be too disrespectful to the athletes, the fighters, the promoters, and any of them. I love this sport, and I try to be as most respectful as I can. But I got a few notes here I want to go over with you guys. After watching last night's Grandprix tournament on Showtime, Strikeforce, which was amazing. Now, I didn't do a fight card prediction beforehand, and I usually don't for Strikeforce. I kind of like to just, I don't know, feel them out. I'm still not totally accepting of Strikeforce yet. Sometimes I think they make some iffy decisions and some iffy things go on over there, and I'm not too keen on that. But anyway, screw all that for the moment, and let's just go with the fact that, hey, I'm glad that somebody's bringing back the tournament style of fighting. I love the tournaments, and last night, Strikeforce's Grandprix heavyweight tournament was fantastic. Now, I didn't expect Arlovski to win. Would have liked to have seen him win. I love to watch Arlovski fight. However, I guess we all get to that point where our chin just can't take it anymore. But, I mean, to be honest with you, Arlovski, I think he's always kind of had that kind of a glass jaw. Not completely, but, I mean, he's been knocked out pretty good by other people before. Pedro Hizzo's knocked him out, earlier in his UFC career. So it's not like this is a new occurrence. He's been knocked out before. This is how Arlovski loses fights. It's basically he gets knocked out. I mean, Tim Silva did it to him, and it happens. But my point here is Sergey Karatanov did a very good job of taking the early storm, the fast pace, the high kicks, the mids, punches, the overhand rights. I mean, everything that Arlovski chose to throw at him, he was able to deflect it, to defend it. He, maybe ate a couple. But once he started sinking those uppercuts in there on old Arlovski, getting that clinch at dirty boxing and hitting on them little uppercuts, to me, that's what it looked like really set it off for him. Those uppercuts, I mean, those are damaging. Maybe you don't see them. Maybe they don't look so powerful sometimes. But you come up onto somebody like that, you're getting a lot of – that hurts, man. It hurts bad. So, good job to Sergey Karatanov. Very pleased with that. He claims he's going to win the tournament. He could be the underdog of the entire tournament, like the unknown, the kind of just the unseen is going to skim right under the radar until he's up there in the finals and everybody's going, holy crap, this guy actually made it to the finals. It's a very big possibility, but he's got huge competition in his way. I mean, we still have to see what happens with Brett Rogers and Josh Barnett and Fabricio Verdum and Alistair Overeem, which, I mean, those fights themselves are going to be fantastic. But let's just talk about last night. Fedor. God, you know what? I mean, obviously that's really all I've got to talk about is Fedor. Should he retire? I don't think so. Just because you lost a couple of fights, homie, doesn't mean you need to hang up the gloves just yet. I mean, let's face it. You went almost a decade without losing a fight. Don't you think it was your time to maybe lose a couple, get a little humbled? I mean, that first one could have been called a fluke. You lost the second one to another guy. Now we're not going to call it a fluke. Now we're going to say this. Well, it's something I've been saying for a long time. Maybe not so much on the internet, but I've definitely been saying around the water cooler and the radio shows and stuff that I go to. Definitely, for 5 years, Fedor's been fighting wash-ups, hacks. I mean, no offense, guys. We're talking about former champions that just don't cut the mustard anymore. We're talking about Mark Coleman 2 times. We're talking about, a heavy Tim Silva who is on his way to looking like crap. He just lost another one. Holy shit. We're talking about Arlovski. We're talking about a lot of stuff going on here. Oops. Excuse me. We're talking about a lot of stuff here that just doesn't add up to being the best in the world. And if you ask me, he was never the best in the world as far as who he was beating for the last 5 years. Hangman Choi. You know what Hangman Choi's most famous for? Beating up washed-up baseball players. Jose Canseco. Anyway, no disrespect to these guys, but listen, Fedor definitely shouldn't retire. But it's about time the truth was exposed. You're going to put enough hype into somebody, and you're going to put enough money behind them and advertise that they're the baddest person on the planet, can't nobody beat them, but then you put them in the cage with top 10 competition. I know some of you out there are going to probably holler at me, what about Brett Rogers? What about him? Who's he really beating? He beat Arlovski. So has everybody else in the last couple of years. No big deal there. That's really not a credential that you can really go to anymore. Okay, he beat Arlovski on Arlovski's worst day. You know what I'm saying? And he's had a lot of them, 4 consecutive now, Arlovski has. So, I mean, and he got thrown around by Brett Rogers. He gave Fedor a run for his money. He definitely did. There was a point in that fight where we thought, well, maybe Brett Rogers can beat Fedor. Fedor was able to come out of it. Good for him. But that was just the beginning. And it's a good thing he avoided fights like Overeem because, and I'm gonna give it credit. And I know all you Fedor fans out there, and my good buddy and former, original co-founder of Addict MMA, Alex. I know you know, you're Russian. You guys love your Russian heroes just like we love our American heroes. But I got to be humble when Randy Couture gets knocked out. So it's time to humble up. You know, I know you guys get a little pissed, but listen, he was never the best in the world. He was fighting nobodies and being called the best in the world. And what about his WAMA championship, the WMMA, the World Association of Mixed Martial Arts belt that he got when he knocked out, or when he choked out Tim Sylvia? Now, let's take a look at that real quick. The WAMA belt. Since then, he's lost to Fabricio Verdum. But does anybody remember Verdum getting awarded a WAMA championship belt after that fight? I sure didn't. Maybe he got it in the mail, FedEx or something, maybe UPS. I don't know. DHL, that's a European company. Hey, I don't know, but probably not, because he doesn't carry it with him anywhere. So obviously he didn't get it. Now what about Bigfoot Silva? After that badass destruction of Fedor, you know, hey, maybe he should be the WAMA champion. But where did the WAMA belt come from? Was it the Affliction? No, it wasn't Affliction. It's an M1 Global thing, folks. M1 Global is Fedor. Fedor is M1 Global. Now, a lot of you hardcore, diehard fans out there can go, oh, no, Fedor, he's so pure and innocent that whatever company does, he doesn't have any control over that. It's his company. He's got control. He's the man. If there's no Fedor, there's no M1 Global. They go where he goes. He sets the stuff up. That's why he gets the fights that he wants, and he gets to avoid the others and get called best in the world. Listen, he awarded himself. His company awarded him a championship belt. So to me, that belt is about as much as this here, this notebook pad is. It's worth nothing. Pennies on the dollar. I mean, obviously that belt's probably worth a little bit more because he probably put some gold into it. But the point of the matter is, he's walking around with a fake championship belt, which he doesn't really carry with him. But he's got it. I hope it looks good on the mantle. Hey, you know what? Rest in peace, Fedor Emelianenko. I definitely don't think he should retire, but thank God the hype is squashed. And you know what? This one goes out. I got to dedicate this one to Dana White just because, hey, the stock has plummeted. Who cares if Fedor fights in the UFC? I don't think he'd be top 5, top 10 in the UFC. I think guys like Czech Congo, maybe not Czech Congo, we haven't seen him in a while anyway. Frank Mir, definitely competition. Shane Carwin would probably eat him for breakfast. Brock Lesnar would probably eat him for breakfast as well until one of them right hands landed. And, well, Brock Lesnar doesn't like to get punched in the face. Cain Velasquez would demolish him. I'm sorry. All you Fedor fans out there, I've got nothing but love for all the athletes of this sport, but it's about damn time. And his stock has plummeted. I'm so excited. His stock has plummeted. And that's it. No more of this. He's not the baddest man on the planet. He's not the best in the world. You put him up against top 10, and he folds. And that's what happens. He spent a career in Pride doing a good thing, and he beat up the right people, and he won his belts in Pride, and there's no argument there. But ever since after his last Nogueira fight in Pride, I mean, there was really nothing else great for him. Coleman, Choi, Sylvia, who cares? It's over with. I'm done. This is Addict MMA, and I cannot wait till the next round of these quarterfinal Strikeforce tournament. But as far as Fedor's concerned, rest in peace, homie. I'm out.